Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to indicator nymph this little run here. We got a nice run dumping into a relatively small pool. We saw a couple steelhead roll in the hole, so I think there's fish here. And we're going to run some dead drifts with the indicator through this little run right here. It's really like a small little pool, good riffle area, small pool, good riffle area. The way I'm set up here, I got a pink lady egg fly on. When this fly gets wet, it gets real nice and translucent. You can see that the water's starting to clear up today. I'll get this wet. You can take a look at that. That's a pretty realistic egg pattern. Nice translucency in the clear water tends to work better than an opaque, dense egg pattern. And the way I've got it set up, I got a couple of shot up above the fly, about 6 inches up above the fly. The water depth isn't very much here. I've got another shot set above the other shot because I want that drift to go vertical. I want a nice little 90-degree angle vertical drift. When that indicator goes vertical through the water column, it means my fly's dead drift right up underneath that indicator. So I'm going to start running some drifts. When you're fishing in an area like this, you want to run some drifts in close, especially when you can't visually see fish. I'll run some drifts in close and just work my way out and see what happens. When you're indicator nymphing, you always want to make sure that the fly is dead drifting through the area where you think the fish are. So I'm going to guess that the fish are in this darker green water out here in front of me. So I want to throw it upstream and across from my position, mend it upstream a couple times, lift that line right off the water. When you lift that line right off the water, it goes drag free. One mend, and I'm going to lift it. You see the float start to go vertical right through the drift, right like that. I don't think there's any fish down below, so I'm going to bring it back in. There he is, right there. Took right at the end of the drift. Oh! Now I'll tell you exactly what I did wrong. What I did wrong was I lifted the rod upstream instead of setting the hook downstream over my left shoulder. Big boom, 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 fish is gone just like that. Let that be a lesson. Sometimes you got to learn the hard way. I didn't even see that fish in the back. I think he followed it out of that dark water and came right back in there. That's a good take right there, real good take. It's a little bit of a fresher fish, looks like a nice hen. And away she goes. Now you notice I set the hook over my left shoulder that time. Uh-oh, don't go over there. I don't want to follow you way over. She goes again. She's ripping. Oh, she's way over. Way over, so I gotta lift that line real high. Keep it off those. Oh! Darn! Oh, that sucks. I thought I had her beat. She was right in, and I was right back out. Well, I think there's more fish in there. That's 2 hookups and, what, 4 casts, 5 casts? They like the pink lady egg. I probably catch more steelhead on the south shore of Lake Erie with just a little pink lady egg fly. I really like the chartreuse thread. I really kind of think it makes it stand out a little bit. Real nice and translucent. Looks just like a glob of eggs. Well, let's try that again, see if we can't actually land a fish today. I see a couple in that lighter yellow colored water. I see a couple sitting right in the middle. I don't know if those are the fish I hooked and lost or not. He moved right over in front of me, right here. We'll mend upstream and lift that line right off the water. I like to, oh, look at that fish just roll right in front of us. I like to lift that line right off the water. Fly line on the water creates drag. And if you see my fly line that I'm using today, it's just a thin, level, floating, running line. That's the best way that I can ensure that I'm going to get a drag-free drift. I just had a little chub eat that fly. A little upstream mend. Lift that line right off the water. Direct contact with that indicator. Direct contact with that float, just like the pinners do. And you see how that float goes vertical through the drift? It goes straight up and down through the drift. That means I'm getting a nice dead drift right up underneath that indicator. There we go, right there. Now, I know I'm going to do something wrong here, but we'll see what happens. Well, I'm going to have to follow this one. He's way over. Oh. Going to have to run after this one. Try to get her over. Sometimes you got to get a little wet. It's a nice hat. Absolutely full of eggs. Beauty, great fight. Finally caught it.